What's up, guys? We're here. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to react to the PoE 2 patch update that's coming for 0.1.1. We're going to go ahead and watch this real quick and just talk about a few of the things that are actually coming. I had to work yesterday, so I had to get a chance to get this video out earlier. So let's go ahead and get right into it.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. Well, we're back from our break. We've been playing the game a whole lot, and we've been reading a whole lot of feedback as well. So it's time to assess and work out what we're going to do next.
There we go.
Now, later this week we'll be releasing PoE 2 0.1.1. This is a patch designed to address the concerns that we can address relatively quickly, without needing to create a new league or a new economy just yet. In this video, we'll be going over some of the issues we've identified.
So that's good. We're not going to get an economy reset, at least for now. I did get a chance to watch Gazzy's and DM's interview, which is really nice. I highly suggest that everybody go check that out. It's like 2 hours of them interviewing Jonathan and Mark, and they talk about a lot of really good things in there.
And what we're planning on doing about them. It's worth stressing that just because a specific issue isn't on this list doesn't mean that we're not aware of it or that it isn't going to get addressed. It just means that we either can't fix the problem quickly or we can't do so without the need for a new economy.
Okay.
Speaking
of the new economy, what he means is like doing like a league reset. So like we're in a current league right now, or early access. So if they reset that to bring any huge updates like nerfs or big in-game content changes, they would have to reset everything. So we'd have to start over. But that isn't going to come for a while, that they said.
Major areas that needs a lot of attention is the base experience of mapping.
Here we go.
We've made a lot of changes here.
I enjoy the mapping process.
Maps have received a balance pass to the number of monsters, number of chests, number of magical rare monsters, number of essences, strongboxes, and precursor artifacts. You should generally find maps more rewarding than before. Maps generally specialize in one or more of these elements that they will be particularly rewarding in.
So they're literally buffing everything in maps. So like all your generic stuff, your essences, your strongboxes, chests, rewards, more monsters, just everything is just going to be buffed. That's fantastic.
Now towers are a thing that's very important.
Oh my god. Towers, dude, need to be changed.
We wanted to add more variety here as soon as possible, so we've added 4 more tower maps.
Oh, I love this.
Alpine
Look at this tower.
Sinking Spire.
There we go.
Bluff.
Ooh.
And Mesa.
They all look so much better. The current tower system is so bad.
Existing Lost Towers map to make playing there less boring.
Okay, Lost Towers is getting a change. That's nice.
We're now also spawning more maps with bosses.
Oh my god, more maps with bosses.
The rate was intended to be 1 in 4 maps, but in reality the rate was much lower due to some maps being unable to spawn bosses.
Interesting.
We increased the rate to compensate for this issue so that we can get the actually intended rate. We're also adding a new type of map that allows you to add bosses to your maps.
Hell yeah. Now, what's great about adding the bosses there is that you can just add more bosses, which will help with map sustains, especially at like tier 14, 15, for sure. The one issue with that one, though, is like unless you have some towers that are like next to each other, now you're sacrificing like adding in like a breach mechanic or adding in like a ritual mechanic instead, but you're just adding bosses, which bosses are good. I really like fighting bosses. That really does help with sustain, but... So it depends. I know Breach is going to get a little nerf probably, but they said in the interview that like Breach is, they're getting a lot of error codes. So Breach, we're actually missing like a good percentage of monsters spawning in Breach, which is kind of funny.
Strongbox.
But I do really love the like bosses tablet being added there, so you can just farm bosses. I think that's really good.
Also needed some love. They now spawn monsters faster, have a less annoying fog effect, and have also received changes to the timings and effects of the mods on them.
All right, that's good.
Now,
I like that, because strong boxes are just really bad right now.
Ability of effects. Many maps had too much clutter, preventing effects on the ground from rendering.
Oh, that's so good.
See
how you could see everything? Like you saw that big huge hammer? That stuff is so much brighter.
Clutter on some maps, and has changed some effects to make sure that they are always visible. In addition, elemental explosion effects have had visibility improved. Stick around for longer before they explode, and disappear without exploding if a rare monster dies.
Oh, nice.
Volatile plants are also way easy to see before they explode.
Good, thank you, because those things kill me all the time.
The zoom level on the Atlas.
Oh my god, look at that zoom level, guys. Isn't that zoom level just amazing? That's how it should be anyway.
done a pass on various terrain collision issues in many maps. We've also improved the load times of opening the world map and atlas panel. And we also now show the biome of a map on the hover for it.
Ooh, I really like that. Like, the biome is really nice because there's sometimes, like, you can tell the biome from where you're at on the atlas tree. Like, if you go back, like, obviously, like, if you're in here, this is like a swamp. If you're here, this is obviously a grassy area, and then this is a desert area. But some people still like just the icon here. I just think that, like, just icons like this are just really nice. I just think it's just like a quality of life thing.
The biome of a map on the hover for
It's really good.
For other in-game content systems, we're focusing on getting all the rewards in line with what they should be. For Delirium, we recently fixed a bug which caused Delirium monsters to just not spawn after the starting part. And we've also buffed the rate of simulacrums dropping by 20%.
20% simulacrums increase? I feel like that needs to be way higher when we have to get to 300 just to go do the boss.
To make it more in line with the rate of finding...
Like at T15, 16s, dude, I get like 5 at the end or 4. It's just like, what?
The expedition and ritual bosses.
But we'll see. Maybe 20% will be much better.
For ritual, we've made omens now appear in the ritual tribute window 60% more often.
Dude, I love that omens are going to appear there more. Because me personally, I've talked about this on my live streams so much, is like, ritual really sucks right now. I don't mind that the invitation to the king is very rare. I'm okay with that because it should be, right? Because that's a big fight and like you can get some really juicy rewards. So I'm okay with that. But the rest of the loot pool is pretty bad. And omens, I believe, is like a really good thing for crafting. And because when you use them, they get consumed. It's like a one and done. So for them to appear more, I think it's just going to be better. It's going to help our crafting for not only doing maps, but like doing gear and stuff. So this is a really good buff.
For Expedition, we've improved the rarity from the shops, but we'll be wanting to make some more substantial changes to the rewards for this league later on.
Yeah, that sounds right later on, because Expedition's like complete garbage right now.
Now, one of the major concerns that we're often seeing is that getting to play Pinnacle content...
Like, it's so bad that like when maps are like have an addition to Expedition, like I just don't even do it.
Just takes too long, and that when you do finally get there, you only get one attempt and don't get a chance to learn the boss. In order to address these concerns, we're making the following changes. First, we're making the Citadel spawn closer to the center of the Atlas.
Oh, look at that.
We've also added an effect so you can see them in the fog of war from further away.
Oh my god, that's so nice. You can see where they spawn at.
This makes them much easier to find. To address the problem of only having one attempt, on the Arbiter of Ash you will now get up to 6 respawn attempts. Respawns can only be triggered by the person who put in the keys, and everyone on your party will be respawned at the same time.
So this is so good. So here's the thing that like there's some people that are just very upset that like when the one portal system, you guys can let me know about this down in the chat what you guys think. I personally enjoy the one portal system instead of having 6 tries on every single thing we do like we have in PoE 1. However, for bosses like the Arbiter, Zesh and stuff, I do think having the additional portals is nice to their point, because then that way you can learn the mechanics. Because when you go up and you start to fight the boss and then you just get like, you're fighting Zesh and you just get one shot by an arm, like you don't even go through all the mechanics. So I do think that's good. And I think it's good that only the person with the, that opened it can trigger the like come back in, but, or the try again. But yeah, I definitely like the one portal for maps and like having additional portals for bosses. Now, this is something else they did say in the interview with DM and Ghazi. So they are doing this for all the bosses. So Arbiter is the first one they got pushed out, and I think they did that for King of the Mist as well. But all the other ones, so Zesh and then the boss against the for Expedition, you will also have more portals for. So this is a really good thing, because if you think about the grind all the way up until you can get the stuff to actually fight. So like Arbiter of Ash, you have to get 3 different of those citadels, get all 3, then go fight him. So like farming all that can take a while. And for you to just instantly die on something and not be able to experience the content is, so this is a good thing. They did mention that they are keeping one portal for maps only. So for maps, you only get the one chance, but for the bosses, the Pinnacle content, you will get 6, which is really good. I think this is a good change.
Leaving the map still forfeits your attempt, so you'll still need to fight the boss with the build you walked into the map with. Higher difficulties of the boss will lower the number of respawn attempts you get, but you should know the mechanics of the fight by then, right? Now, we'll also be adding respawns to other Pinnacle content as well over time.
Yep, there you go.
Another thing that players have noticed is that there are less keys from Faradin Citadels on the market, and thought that it was because the Citadel spawns less often. It turns out though that this is just because the boss kills players more often than the others. We've made a few changes to that boss to bring it in line with the other bosses.
That's good, that's a good thing.
A lot of people have reported that many of our unique items are feeling underwhelming. Uniques are often designed to be build enabling at high levels, even if they're low level uniques. But we realize that we do need to make sure that more uniques feel powerful when you first get them at low levels too. In this patch, we are buffing a lot of uniques.
So this is
These
nice.
changes should make finding uniques at lower levels a lot more fun, and make subsequent character playthroughs more fun too, when you have some great uniques.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the like alternate characters
Also
you play
changing a
through are
few
really
other things
nice.
to make finding rares better at higher levels too. First, we're changing mod weightings a bit to make sure that there are less bad mods. Another fix is making high tier items no longer cull the highest tier modifier of a given mod type. This bug caused bows and crossbows to not spawn with attack speed at tier 5 rarity.
So see, I knew that the tier, like if you find an item that's like tier 5, tier 4, tier 3, that we just weren't getting like not necessarily the best of the best mods, but we were still getting like mods that are really bad, like stat reduction or like stun threshold and all this crap. And then like you weren't just getting the best, and there were still mods that you just weren't getting, like the attack speed on bows. So like I knew that there was something off about that.
Life at tier 5 rarity. Another change we're making is to make socketables such as runes can now be overwritten.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good that we can swap runes. I've wanted that for so long. That's something I feel like they should have had in the game anyway. Now, mention like even in the interview they talked about the runes, but they didn't mention soul cores, so I don't know if soul cores are going to be able to be swapped out, so just keep that in mind when the patch comes. But being able to swap runes is very good.
Now, as we continue to play, we still find many balance anomalies with specific monsters or bosses that can be nasty if you encounter them.
Yeah.
This patch contains a pass adjusting a large number of those monsters and bosses. We'll save the full list for the patch notes, but there are a significant number of changes here that should address many cases where monsters or bosses felt too hard in certain circumstances.
Huh.
Here are a few examples to get a taste of what kind of changes you can expect.
Okay.
The Silverfist Commander roll now does a lot less damage. Plague Bearer's Detonate Dead can no longer be used from off-screen and has better telegraphing.
Okay.
Forsaken Miners throw less grenades, have improved visuals, and deal less damage. And Lost Men Zealots can no longer meteor you from off-screen either.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Just like those.
Those are good changes.
One of the big issues for players on consoles is that the web-based item filter system is currently not working. This means that they can't use item filters like the PC users can. For 0.1.1, we'll be enabling the same system that PoE 1 has, which allows you to subscribe to
That's
item
really
filters
good.
on the website. For now, this will be done on the PoE 1 website to
That's
allow
really
us to get
good.
this feature out as fast as possible. Later on, we'll improve the user experience of this and put it on the Path of Exile 2 website. This patch also contains a bunch of other smaller changes and bug fixes that I'm sure you guys will appreciate. Like buffing armor and scavenged plate.
Yes, armor needs a big buff.
Showing the number of uses left in your charms, as well as an effect when they trigger.
I don't know, the charm system's still off. They talked about that too.
Fixing the
Charms
music
just
for Luna
seems
was
really
supposed to play in
bad
town.
still. They said that they got to figure out something to do with the charms. Because the charms just aren't, they're not hitting
Plenty of other little fixes and improvements throughout the game.
like what they wanted them to be.
Now, we have a huge amount of much more meta-shifting changes that we know we want to make. And one of the best things about having the game in early access with the endgame is that we now have a much better idea of where we want character power to be and what the balance of bosses and monsters should be relative to that. But those types of changes are going to have to wait until we are ready to make a new league with a new economy for people to play in.
Yeah, yep.
That's still a little while away yet, but in the meantime we'll be continuing to identify things that are causing frustration and try and address them.
Very
Thank
nice.
you guys for playing and hope to be doing more of these in the future. Later.
Man, what a big patch change, dude. So many good changes. I really do enjoy this. And again, guys, go check out Ghazi's and DM's interview because they talk about a lot more. But there's a lot of very good changes here coming, and they answered a lot of things. Another big stuff that's coming that they didn't mention in here is probably with this update that's coming, we are going to get the map tab, which is very important. Maps are just like filling up my inventory like crazy, and we will get a map tab, which is huge. And just some ore class balance changes, which are going to be coming. So be ready for that. They did mention that they're not going to be nerfing anything that's You know, that would highly affect some builds, but they will be nerfing things that affect like player stability, their experience, and those things. So just be ready for some nerfs to come to some class balancing and some, you know, some other builds. Hopefully it doesn't destroy your build, but there is some coming. But a lot of these changes are really, really good, guys. I'll link this video down in the description below. But I'm very, very happy with these changes. This is a big W. I was kind of afraid that we didn't get, we were going to get like some big nerfs to some classes, but we didn't get those, and those are going to be coming later. So hopefully it's not too bad. So yeah, guys, like the video. This is just a quick recap of all the stuff that's coming. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, stay gaming. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.